Hey everybody, it's time for the least popular series on my channel, and like the only actual series, listens of the month. This time we are going over the month of August, a very interesting month, if I may say so myself. A decent number of listens this month for sure. We're going to go through each one very briefly like we always do. Be sure to let me know down in the comments if you've listened to any of these and what your thoughts of them are, possibly perhaps. Without further ado, let's make myself smaller and let's just jump right into it. First off, we got the soundtrack for the 2000 movie Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? A classic, honestly. It was very, very well received at the time. I don't know what it was, really, honestly. It just had a whole lot of bangers on the soundtrack for sure. It's very, very well produced. You know, the radio version of I Am a Man of Constant Sorrow by the Soggy Bottom Boys is a banger and a half. It's such a great tune. What the hell? Like a modern day bluegrass classic? What? Wow. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of other great songs on here as well. It flows together so very well. It's so well crafted. It's such a great soundtrack. Give it a listen. Then we listened to the newest album from Post Malone, Austin. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the shift to more singer-songwriter type of like indie-esque pop rock, I guess you could say. It's not bad. I just kind of prefer his Beer Bongs and Bentley sound. I don't know if this is his weakest album as a whole. It's not terrible. There is a lot of stuff I like on here. I like the song Warning. Love the song Don't Understand. I go back to that one very often. But a lot of the stuff just kind of blends together. It's not very much an album that has many standout tracks, but there's still a lot of decent stuff here. Can't tell whether or not I like this one more than 12 Karat Toothache, but it was still great to see him live. I saw him back in the middle of August, and it was an amazing show. Amazing show. Love Post Malone to death. But I'm kind of on the fence about this album. Then gave a listen to the mixtape from Mac Miller, Kids. Kicking incredibly dope shit. It really is just like a party album, honestly. Lots of great tracks on here that I go back to pretty often. The Spins, Good Evening, Senior Skip Day is just so youthful. This album really is just like you're at the end of high school and you got the whole future ahead of you. Just great vibes all around. Knock Knock is a great track. Kool-Aid and Frozen Pizza, Nike's on My Feet. Don't Mind If I Do, which samples Owl City. It's a classic mixtape. Listen to the EP from One Day as a Lion, the self-titled obviously. It's the only thing they ever put out. Don't know why it took me so long. It's fine. Each of the songs kind of sound very much alike, but I will say Wild International is a banger of a track. I can see why that one kind of popped off a little bit. It's not bad, but it's just kind of lacking. Then gave you Listen to The Weeknd and Beauty Behind the Madness. Yeah, listen to this for the first time, just like One Day as a Lion, and I really enjoyed it. For the most part, like I've been going back to Tell Your Friends so often since I listened to this. It's such a good track. I've been obsessed with The Hills like all year. Earned It is a very, very, very sexy song. Often is great. The Ed Sheeran song's really good. The Lana Del Rey song's really good. Yeah, I just enjoyed it. Like front to back, it's not a bad listen. It's a little long. It has elements of his older stuff, which I'm very, very fond of. And it shows him like evolving a little bit to incorporate a bit more pop elements, such as on the song "Can't Feel My Face." So an interesting point in Abel's career for sure. Then we started listening to Kyuss in August. It's hard to believe. Like I went through the whole discography just within the last month, starting with their first album, Wretch, and this is a real heavy one. Now, the production is a little bit lacking. I think the bass is clipping in multiple parts of this album. It's not a great tone. It's kind of distracting, but there are some great songs on here for sure. Just riff after riff. It's just throughout the entire album. Absolutely love the track "Son of a B." And Big Bikes makes me laugh. It's such a funny song, but it also just rocks. This album friggin' rocks. Then listen to the entire soundtrack from Jet Set Radio Future, the video game soundtrack. So that means all 30 songs that were on the game. This is one of my favorite video games of all time. It holds a very special place in my heart. Maybe someday I'll do like a playthrough of it on stream sometime on Twitch. It's such a great game. It has such like a whole bunch of just great, memorable songs. whether it be from the Latch Brothers, which you can't find any of their shit anywhere except YouTube, or Hideki Naganuma, who's a notorious Twitter poster. Yeah, I can go on and on about the soundtrack, honestly. Count Latula, The Answer, the remix of Brand Van 3000, Humming the Bassline, Statement of Intent, Kodo Stomp, Shape the Future, all great tracks. I'm Not a Model, which is heavily edited and shortened, but yeah, Aisle 10, Rock It Out, I Love You, Ill Victory Beat, there's so many damn good songs all throughout the soundtrack. Moving along to The Prodigy and The Fat of the Land. First time listening to this all the way through. It's great, honestly. Like it's consistent from front to back. This is a landmark classic electronic dance music album. Period. End of story. It's kind of like, it's got that like legendary status, honestly. Absolutely love Smack My Bitch Up. Love Diesel Power. Love Breathe. Firestarter, obviously. It's great. It's a fantastic album. Love it. Then I listened to the Bad Omens album, Finding God Before God Finds Me, the deluxe version. And yeah, these guys are really, let's just be Bring Me to Horizon, you know? Let's follow in their footsteps. But these guys still keep an edge. They really know how to craft like catchy songs, great vocals, but also like make like songs that have really heavy riffs, heavy parts, and they do it in a really effective way. And like so much to the point, like I really did enjoy this album, and I'm looking forward to seeing them at Aftershock. Same with these guys. I'm really looking forward to seeing Polyphia. Listen to their album Renaissance, and I strongly recommend this one. I can't believe how good this album is. The talent, it just sounds so fluid. The songs are like seamless, yet they're so complex, yet it's so accessible and beautiful and just catchy and feel good. I don't know how these guys do it. They're so damn talented. Loved listening to this record. As I said, strongly recommend. Then I listened to Kyuss's Blues for the Red Sun, their sophomore release. They arguably get heavier with this one. From Thumb to Green Machine, just 1-2 punch. Molten Universe right after that. It's great. Like, you start to notice them add more psych rock influences, more psychedelic styles into their sound. Because this is the first time I'm listening to any Kyuss, honestly. A great blend of heavy, sludgy riffs mixed with desert rock passages. It's great. Thong Song is another great standout from this one too. Gave another listen to Lightwork from Devin Townsend, his newest like actual studio album release, and it's still really good. I still love it quite a lot. Love Lightworker, love Call of the Void. Wouldn't be surprised if that makes my year-end Spotify list. And Celestial Signals is a great song, great vocals throughout the album, especially on that song. The chorus is great. Really solid album front to back. Vacation is a neat little track. Dimensions was really cool to see live. Yeah, love Devin Townsend in general. And listen to Dead Kennedys and their first album, Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables. Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables for the first time. It's honestly great. Like it kind of took me aback because like it's a punk rock like essential, you know? Yeah, it sounds so good. It's written so good. Like all the songs are really catchy, and it just has this attitude to it, and I love it. Really straightforward, great songs, good songwriting, like that matches like the genre. It's just really well done. And obviously, Holiday in Cambodia is like a step above so many punk songs in general. After that, we listened to Decapited's Organic Hallucinosis for the first time. Now let me tell you, just straight off the bat, Post Organic is one of the best tech death songs ever written. I have listened to that song countless times over the years, but I never gave this album a full listen until this month, in August. But all throughout this album, even though it's a real short one, just pummeling, tight, technical riffs all throughout. It's so crushing. It's just relentless. It kicks so much ass. This is a tech death marvel right here. Love this album. Then gave another listen to the newest album from Lil Texas, Too Fast. And yeah, it's really straightforward. Not as experimental, but like it's very much loaded with bangers, without a doubt. Like that reminds me, I got to see him in August too. Or I think it was like August 8th or something like that in San Francisco, and he put on such a damn good show. Oh my god. I got to meet him. I got to shake his hand. I got to chat with him briefly like 3 different times. It was really freaking cool. But yeah, absolutely love his work. All right, after that, we've got Jesu with the EP Silver. It's okay. I didn't really get much out of it. It was fine. I do like the track Silver, but I wasn't really feeling most of it. It's fine. The production is a little odd. Silver is a neat track. I will give it that. All right, then I finally gave a listen to Hemispheres from Rush for the first time, and damn, what a good album. Even though it's really short, there's only 4 songs, it's still really quite a work of art. Like, I've listened to The Trees enough times in my life, as well as the masterpiece that is La Via Strangiado. So damn good. Like, absolutely love that song. Really, really good album. Glad I finally got to listen to it in its entirety. Alright, finally I got to Misery is a Butterfly from Blonde Redhead. You know, it's been almost 2 years since I saw Blonde Redhead open up for Tool, and I'm still just at a snail's pace crawling through the discography, but this is their best one yet that I've gotten through. This is such a good album. I can't get over how good it is front to back. Like, the emotions that this album elicits, it's indescribable. Like, just the love and the anguish, it's so good. It's also so trippy. I've gone back to Elephant Woman so many times the past couple years, because when they played that, when they opened up for Tool, I was just in mushroom land. I was tripping hard on shrooms, and like, that song took me to just a different dimension. Same goes for the song Doll Is Mine, but to a lesser extent. And the version of Falling Man here, like the studio version, it just pales in comparison to the live version that they played, you know, in San Francisco. Much better vocals when they play it live, and there's like a little trippy break too. It's still a good song, but like, it doesn't even compare. If you're able to, look up them playing Falling Man in San Francisco in 2022. But yeah, apart from that, there are other great songs on here too. Messenger is I'm in love with that song. Pink Love is another one too. It's just so damn good. Misery, my goodness gracious, this is my album of the month. This is my album of the month. Blonde Redhead, Misery is a Butterfly. Moving on. System of a Down, self-titled. I had a weird urge to just give it a re-listen, honestly, and it's so raw, it's so angry and just off the wall right off the bat, like for their debut album, you know, whether it be Sugar or Suggestions or Sweet Pea, The Devil, Darts, War, Soil, No. So many great songs on here for sure. Then gave a listen to the newest Signs of the Swarm album, Amongst the Low and Empty. I did enjoy this one. It was engaging and diverse enough to where like there are a lot of bangers on here. But I'm just so jaded with modern deathcore in general, honestly. I wasn't feeling a lot of the songs on here. But there were enough like crushing breakdowns and like killer vocals from David that like I was like, yeah, this is killer. But overall, I'm just meh, honestly. But it's not bad. If you're into deathcore, there's definitely a lot to like here for sure. In comparison, like I listened to Dead in My Arms like right afterwards, and the difference is night and day. Like, it's just stark difference. This is a deathcore classic, obviously. Enough said. Slit Wrist Savior. Love Lies and Ashes, Lie to My Face, Collaborating Like Killers. It's such a killer record that gives no f***s. It's great. Then I listened to First Blood and their album Rules. Come on, guys, it's been 6 years. Let's get some new music going. You guys are so damn good. This is a damn good record. Whether it be the opening track, The Rules, or Rules Meant to Be Broken, or my 2 favorite songs on the record, Rules of Conviction and Rules of Justice. Absolutely killer songs, great riffs all throughout, great breakdowns, killer vocals. It's not my favorite First Blood record, but it kills. It's freaking awesome. Then listen to the EP Textcore Volume 3 from Low Texas. And yeah, killer 4 songs. Probably the best out of the Textcore EPs, in my opinion. Just goddamn. That's all I'm going to say. Alright, we got The Money Store from Death Grips. Strongly recommend. I've probably touched on it before in the previous listens of the month, but it's a pretty like flawless record, honestly. From front to back, there's no bad songs at all. The beats are out of this world. They absolutely slap. The hooks are absolutely great. The lyrics, the rhymes, just the attitude. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime kind of record. Can't say enough good things about it. Strongly recommend. Alright, then we got Kyuss's Welcome to Sky Valley. And this is a damn good album right here. This is where they really lean into the psychedelic rock, desert rock, trippy guitar focus, song structures. The sludge elements are still very much there, but this is like probably the most stoner rock that they have sounded yet, at least at this point in their career, and it really shows. Whether it's on Demon Cleaner or Gardenia, it's excellent. But I will say, the song Space Cadet, I have been playing like again and again and again and again. It's so good. I really dug this record a lot. This is probably my favorite of the Kyuss albums. Although it's really hard to say though. Suba Scuba and the Mighty Scoop is really good too. Like the riff that comes up near the end is just, ooh, so tasty. Like riff heaven, these guys, honestly. Speaking of riff heaven, I re-listened to Mastodon's greatest work of art, Crack the Sky. Absolute f***ing masterpiece. If you haven't heard this album yet, you are really doing yourself a disservice. This is a prog, sludge, metal masterpiece. Up to this point, nothing really came close, and nothing has really come close since. 7 songs on here, and they're among their best, honestly. I would say that the weakest song is probably Ghost of Corellia, but that's still like a top 40, top 50 Mastodon song easily. Can't say enough good things about this album, strongly recommend. Then I finally listened to the remix album of Cross's Permanent Radiant. Yeah, basically all 6 songs that were on the EP and the remixed versions of those songs by various artists. I dug it. It was pretty good. Dug it quite a lot. Listened to it on my way to San Francisco for a Renegade that was literally being shut down as I got there. So it's going to remind me of that. But I got to see a friend of mine that I was looking forward to see anyway, even if it was brief. Yeah, it was really good. I would say the Day 1 remix probably stands out the most for me. I think Machine Drum did that one. Yeah, it's solid. And on my way back from that, I listened to Disturbed, their first album, The Sickness, for the first time. And I could care less what people say, honestly, about nu metal in general. While there are a couple moments on the album that are like kind of really cringe, most of this album is actually pretty fire. It's honestly pretty great. I dug it quite a bit. I mean, the first 4 songs alone are untouchable, and they're all the singles, obviously. But Voices is one of my favorite Disturbed tracks. The Game is great. Got to see them play that live back in July, and it was fire. It was awesome. It's a great song, as well as Stupefy. Like, it was the second song they played. Great song, and obviously like Down with the Sickness, like come on, who doesn't know that song? It's a classic. But there are other good songs on here too, like Violence Fetish, Shout 2000, Fear is another good one. They actually played that live too. It's a solid record. Moving along to self-titled album from Savage Garden. I love me some Savage Garden. I grew up with this album. I still love it to this day. My parents had it on CD and would listen to it very often. Like, Truly Madly Deeply is obviously like one of the greatest love songs ever written. It's cheesy, it's romantic, it's effective, it's great. But what I like about this album is like there's an edge to it too, like on the song Carry On Dancing or Break Me, Shake Me. It was just an aggression that I was drawn to, even at a very young age. I loved it. I love the song I Want You. It's so damn good. I go back to it all the time. It's such a well-written song. The production on this album is great. Love to the Moon and Back. It's one of my favorite songs, period. And Tears of Pearls is a great, just dance-tastic song, if it's even a word, if it makes sense. Love that track. And Violet has just a killer, like, just funky groove to it. It just slaps. This album slaps. I'll leave it at that. Strongly recommend. Now, we've got Testament and their album, The Ritual. Now, there was a fair amount on this album that I did enjoy. Return to Serenity is obviously a great song. I love it. And there are some cool ideas on here. Great solos throughout this album, honestly. Great vocals, but for the most part, it was fine. Like, up to this point, like, I didn't really enjoy this Testament album as much as other ones, like The New Order or Souls of Black. But it's fine. It's fine for what it is. Then I listened to a country record. What? Chris Stapleton, his first album, Traveler. It's solid, honestly. It's a very fine album. Incredible vocals, just amazing vocals from Chris Stapleton all throughout the album. The dude can sing his throat out for sure. Tennessee Whiskey is obviously a classic at this point in time. Love that track. It was not a bad album at all. I actually liked it quite a bit. Speaking of Tennessee, gave a listen to Tennessee's finest, Whitechapel, and their album The Valley. I've spoken extensively about this album already. Strongly recommend. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. It's my favorite Whitechapel album. I can't say enough good things about it. I go back to it more often than I'd like to admit. It's great. It's so good. Then listen to the EP Fenton from Hot Mulligan. A homegirl of mine recommended them to me, and I've been kind of slacking, so I started to get a move on with them. It's a fine EP. It's like an establishing, like, starting point for the band. It's a little indie, it's a little garage, it's a little sad boy-esque type music, but there's an energy to it that I do very much appreciate. We got Audioslave in their final album, Revelations. Now, this one is okay. I wasn't too crazy about it. It's not nearly as good as their first two albums, especially their first album, but there's still decent tracks on here. Shape of Things to Come is really good. The title track is great. Original Fire is good. Other than that, it's very much kind of just mid, like low mid. Moving on from there, we got Kyuss and their final album, And the Circus Leaves Town. Not much vocals on this album. I mean, they're still present, but there's a lot of just straight up instrumental tracks on here. It seems like they're really going full bore with just like straight up instrumentation, trippy sounding desert rock, stoner rock material. Some good tracks on here that I did enjoy, but I probably enjoyed this one the least out of all their albums. It's not bad though. It's a decent send off for their career, I suppose. Then listen to the second half of the deluxe edition of Lightwork from Devin Townsend, amply titled Nightwork. Not nearly as good as Lightwork, but there's still a lot of good stuff on here. Starcasm Part 2 and Stampy's Blaster is just like deconstruction levels of intensity and heaviness that I freaking appreciate so much. And like the rest of the album's okay. I like Sober a lot. That's a good song. And Boogus is actually like a really cool little twangy song that I actually like a lot. Yeah, not bad at all. I love Devin so much. You guys look. New Death Clock album. New Death Clock album. First one in 11 years, if you don't count the Doomstar Requiem. Death album 4. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I dug this one quite a lot. I still need to give it another listen since it's still brand new and still very fresh. But I'm just so happy it's here. When they released the first single off this album, Aortic Desecration, I was so damn impressed. Like, wow, this is one of the coolest Death Clock songs I have heard yet. Full bore, straight up death metal riffage, great drumming from Pickles, aka Gene Hoglan. Absolutely killer track. And on this album, they actually play in A sharp rather than C standard, which they've done pretty much their entire career, which I found very interesting. But yeah, Poisoned by Food, I Am the Beast, Mermaider 3. They made a part 3 of Mermaider, which is good. It's decent. It's not as good as the other two versions, I would say. But still, I'm just so happy that they're back. Then listen to the EP A Tear in the Fabric of Life from Knocked Loose. Go listen to it. It is one of the heaviest things you'll ever listen to. It's relentless. Just a short little condensed little 6-song friggin' slugfest. Whether it be Where Light Divides the Holler, God knows, or just the insane chaos panic riffage of Permanent. Oh my god. And moving along to GNR Lies. A little EP. Starts off with a couple covers from Hollywood Roses and LA Guns, which really demonstrate like the attitude of Guns N' Roses pretty perfectly. Used to Love Her is a good song. Patience is obviously a really great song. The acoustic version of You're Crazy alright. I like the original more. But what in the actual fuck is 1 in a Million? That was like I thought that was like being trolled. Like, am I actually listening to this right now? What is this song? Are these lyrics real? It was like so funny, but also just so gross because like this is real and it was officially released by a record label who thought nothing of it. So I do not recommend this one. I guess just listen to Patience if you haven't. Like, it's a great song, but yeah, moving on. Tsunami Demonstration. Straight up hardcore, slammy riffage, really great shit. These guys are from San Jose. It's just a 3-song, 6-minute little demo, but it friggin' slaps. Go listen to it. It's gonna kick your ass within a really short time span. Alright, and it's been 10 years in the making, but I finally listened to the EP from Jason Newsted called Metal. And while I think Soldier Head is a good track, the rest of it's very underwhelming and kind of uninteresting. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. Then I listened to the self-titled little EP, I guess, from Vane.fm. And oh man, it's a friggin' wild one. Absolute chaos. It absolutely wrecks. It shreds. It just kicks a whole bunch of ass. I'm looking forward to going through their whole discography because I haven't really listened to anything of theirs since Error Zone. Moving on, re-listening to See You Space Cowboy, and obviously starting off with Songs for the Firing Squad. Yeah, just relentless, hardcore, edgy, sass, brutal, panic chord, chugga-lugga, brutality. Really looking forward to seeing them at Aftershock. We got a Grindstone and their self-titled release. This is a band that pretty much nobody knows about. They're a really friggin' unknown alt-rock, alt-metal, grunge band from the late 90s that never really got off the ground, but this album of theirs has been a long-time favorite of mine, and even though whenever I listened to it, like, it was in the wrong, like, the track listing, wrong order of songs, which kind of sucks because I think I strongly prefer my order of songs, but listening to it as is a different experience. But I love this record a whole bunch. If you get the chance, check it out. It's really interesting, really riff heavy. I can't wait to actually like formally review this album and their follow-up album, which I'll be getting to here in a little bit. But yeah, Threshold, Mirror, Hollow Eyes, Appropriates, Come Alive, killer songs. Hunger, probably my favorite song on here. Cleansing is great. If you like early Tool, early Creed, this is for you. And thanks for the Nintendo 64 game Top Gear Overdrive for introducing me to these guys. And we'll listen to ISIS's Live 1 album. It's really good. I got a whole bunch more to go through, but it's nice to hear a lot of these oceanic tracks come to life. And not much else to say about it. Alright, and we got Limp Bizkit, Significant Other. Big step up from $3 Bill Y'all. A bunch of really killer songs, real jumpy, real bouncy. Genuinely excited to see these guys. A lot of killer tracks on here. Obviously, Nookie is a banger and a half. And from front to back, it's really solid. It's got a lot of good stuff on it. But I just want to hear break stuff. If I can participate in a mosh pit to break stuff, I will die happy. That song goes so hard. I always make sure it's on just full volume, full blast, anytime the breakdown comes on. My God. Moving on, Sepultura with Alex. First album without Igor Cavalera on the drums. And I think it's actually pretty solid. It's a big step up from their past few albums at this point. It's still not, like, near where they were with Max Cavalera, but I did enjoy this one. Like, it was actually, like, pretty solid. Like, a lot of really good, interesting riffs, great vocals. It's actually pretty solid. Then gave a listen again to Lantelos and their album Wild Hund. I have been looking forward to actually, like, revisiting this one because, goodness gracious, I really want to write music like this. It's a gorgeous album. There's a lot of really pretty songs on here. The Bubble ended up making my Spotify top 100 list last year, but Vertigo is another great track, and I re-listened to this. The song Amber is really good. Magnolia is really great. And the biggest song on here, Lake Fantasy, is just, oh my God, it's beautiful. Beautiful. But this album also has an edge to it too. It's great. I love this record. Strongly recommend. All right, we got Language from the Contortionists. I wish I was paying more attention to this album. Like, I was engaged and I did like a whole lot of what I was hearing. It's very solid. Great vocals. It flows together really well. Lots of great passages on here. Although I still think I might prefer Exoplanet over this one. But that's not to say that this album is bad at all, because it's far from it. It's actually pretty great. I'll have to listen to it again. Then I listened to Alceste? I'll just say Alceste from here on out. Les Voyages de l'Âme? I'm probably butchering it. But a really, really solid post-metal, post-blackened metal project. Very, very pretty. It's really great for just like having in the background and just chilling, but it's also so beautiful and good. It's got like, there's this like underlying like raw aggression like underneath all of it, but it's just like, it just comes off as so blissful in a way, I guess you could say. Alright, Asymmetry, Carnival. Talked about in the last video and a couple other videos before. Really is quite a weird, quirky album, but it comes together really well. Lots of great songs on here. Alpha Omega comes to mind. We Are, The Refusal. Aeons is a very, very good song. Eidolon is one of my favorite Carnival songs, period. I really hope they put out a new album soon. But in the meantime, though, I guess I'll be getting more into Ian Kenny's other band, which is a much bigger band than Carnival, actually. Birds of Tokyo. Listen to their first EP, and it's just straightforward, like, just rock tunes, honestly. It's like, I don't know if adult contemporary is like the right term for it, but yeah, they're just straight up standard rock songs, and they're actually not too bad. It wasn't a bad EP. I actually kind of liked it quite a lot. Looking forward to hearing more from them. And then this album celebrated a birthday, turned 22, and it's my favorite Slipknot album by far. Iowa, I mean, an album so good, a state was named after it. I mean, can you get much better than that? Yeah, one of the rawest, most angriest and aggressive albums ever recorded. The ferocity throughout this thing is pretty unmatched, honestly, especially when it comes to the vocals. Just the anger radiating off of this record. And it's just such a great, solid listen from front to back, like all the way through. It is incredible. One of my favorite albums, period. Alright, then we got Merciful Fate with Don't Break the Oath. This was such a good album. My god. I dug this one quite a lot. Lots of great riffs all throughout. King Diamond's vocals are just so signature. While there are a couple songs I didn't really care about, like pretty much for the most part, this album kicks ass. Same goes for this one too. Job for a Cowboy, Sun Eater. My goodness gracious. I mean, the first two songs alone, just like perfection. Perfection. I love how proggy they got with this album. It's pretty much great from start to finish. It just starts off especially strong though. Really, really dig this album quite a lot. Just so many great, catchy guitar lines, just all the way through. Like the way these songs are conducted and crafted, like and composed, it's just remarkable. They really went like real proggy with this one, and I can see why. Like it's just so highly regarded in the death metal scene. It's so damn good. Really looking forward to the new album that they're coming out with soon. And for the first time, I listened to Deep Blue from Parkway Drive, and yeah, this one's very, very solid. From front to back. Lots of great moments on here. It's really cut and dry metalcore, but it's very, very influential. It's easy to see why so many bands to this day look up to bands like Parkway Drive, because Deep Blue it's just so impactful. Whether it be tracks like Sleepwalker or Dead Weight, Pressures, which is real friggin' heavy, Deliver Me, Home is for the Heartless, Hollow, just a very, very solid album. Alright, next up, Soulfly with Omen. And yeah, this is one of their shorter releases, but it's so like effective, like very, very, very thrashy, insane solos throughout this album. It's killer, honestly. It does kind of like, it's so fast and so just killer and riffy that it kind of like just flies off the hinges, honestly. It's like a speeding train that kind of goes off the rails. So while it's consistent, it doesn't seem to have as much staying power as a record like New Prophecy or Dark Ages, which was a killer record. But there's still so much great material on here. Great riffs, lots of heavy moments. The song they did with Greg Puciato was friggin' awesome. Yeah, it's just another killer record from Soulfly, honestly. These guys are really friggin' underrated. Then we got The Serpent Only Lies from Crowbar. Still moving along with their discography, slowly but surely. And while this one is okay, it's not as memorable. I didn't really get too much from it, honestly. It's fine. Like I like the Song of the Dunes song. There were a couple other tracks that were like really awesome, like a couple like really awesome riffs too. But it's not really one of the best Crowbar records from front to back. It's all right. It's all right. We got the split from Kyuss and Queens of the Stone Age. Yeah, I think it's Kyuss doing a couple covers. They're fine. And then we got the first batch of like first ever Queens of the Stone Age songs on here, and they're good. And they're really good. I dug them quite a bit. Really excited to actually start listening to the whole Queens of the Stone Age discography this month. Alright, and we got Wheel and Resident Human. I get to see these guys open up for Vola in a couple weeks, and I couldn't be more excited. And this is a very, very solid album. Movement is a great track. Ascent's great. Hyperion is a very solid track. Resident Human, the actual like title track, is great as well. It's really good. Like, this is really good prog. Like, it's just done so damn well. Really, really looking forward to seeing these guys. Alright, then we got Filter with The Amalgamate. This is a very, very solid album. Very underrated, I think. Richard Patrick can really write some solid-ass rock tunes that really, really do speak to you. I really did enjoy this one quite a bit. Like, just opening up with You Walk Away is such a solid track, my god. And I came across the music video for Where Do We Go From Here on YouTube, and it's just like, it's just such a good song. It Can Never Be the Same kind of hurts. It's a very heartbreaking kind of song. And So I Quit, it just goes harder than like a bag of bricks, like a speeding freight train, honestly. A lot of great heavy moments on this album. Lots of great riffs. Very solid. I enjoyed it quite a lot. Same goes for Converge. I enjoyed this one quite a lot too. Very solid for the back. This is All We Love We Leave Behind. I listened to the deluxe version. Yeah, I really don't know what to say about this one. It's so damn good. It's ferocious, fast, chaotic, energetic, pummeling. Great riffs, just like these quick transitions. It's so effective in such short little like paces, and then when they want to draw out like certain sections, it's so effective. They're so damn good. I'm really looking forward to seeing them Aftershock. We got a little EP from Blonde Redhead here, The Secret Society of Butterflies. It's 3 reworked tracks and I think 1 original. They redo Messenger off of Misery is a Butterfly with a different vocalist, and it's really, really good. That one, especially to me, stands out quite a bit on this one. I liked it. It's a really neat little EP. I liked it. All right, last one. We got Grindstone and their second, as well as last. Well, actually, I think this is actually their third album. I think they technically have a first one, but I'm basing that off of a YouTube comment, so I'm not exactly certain. But yeah, their album Nowhere Under. And while this isn't nearly as good or as memorable as their first album, in my opinion, there's still a lot of really quality songs on here. Because what I really like about these guys is their ability to just craft simple yet really effective riffs, killer riffs, a lot of the time. Like on the first song, like just right off the bat, in Face Is Dead, great riff. The song Hunger is on here too, which is probably my favorite Grindstone song, arguably. Brother Shame has great riffs. FOI is a great track too. Even an acoustic song like Changes, it feels very natural with the flow of the album. And they do kind of wear their influences on their sleeves, like it's very much like Undertow era Tool. But even though this is before their time, this sounds a lot like Chevelle. Like this is like proto-Chevelle. Very much so to me. So I found that very interesting. I don't know if Chevelle maybe like got like a lot of influence from these guys or what. Yeah, because this is before their time. I think this album was released in like 1999. So yeah, if you like Chevelle, this album might be for you. Yeah, I dug it. This is my first time actually listening to it front to back, so it was quite a treat. That is it. That is everything. Take a good little gander there of all the things I listened to in August. Okay, I am so exhausted. I am going to go right to sleep. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. Hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a video of mine. Keep up with me. Like, reach out. Like, communicate. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're enjoying. Leave a like on the video. Leave a comment down below. Check out my other videos if you could as well, or don't. It just doesn't matter. As long as you enjoy.